I'm a collector. I collect cool things, and I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. But did you know that God is a collector too? Hey everybody, I'm Scott. Thank you for joining me today on 45 RPM. I'm so glad that you're here. I collect things. I have my whole life. I've always had collections. When I was a little kid, I had a rock collection. I would pick up rocks, and I had an old shoebox full of rocks. And I still collect things to this day. You know, for ages, I collected movies, I collected CDs, and now that everything's gone digital, pretty much gotten rid of most of that. But yeah, I collect things. I think things to collect is fun. My son-in-law collects baseball cards. And listen, when I tell you he's got a collection, you wouldn't believe it. He's fantastic at it, and he trades them all the time. He's always selling them and sending them back and forth to different places. I want to tell you about what I've been collecting here lately. This is something that's brand new for me. I've never done it before, but I've always been a Disney geek. I loved going to Disney World as a child. Amazing childhood memories with my mom and dad. And my friends going to Disney World. And as a result, even as an adult, we've continued to go, and we carry our children, and we'll carry our grandchildren when they come along as well. I love Disney. So as a part of Disney stuff, they have trading pins. Now, trading pins are pretty cool. This is a trading pin. I'll try to get it where you can see it. That is a Haunted Mansion trading pin. And it's pretty cool. It's got the Haunted Mansion wallpaper and the design of a bat. It's kind of cool. I like it. This is the Hollywood Tower Hotel key. It is from the Tower of Terror ride where you're supposedly in a hotel. And it is a trading pin key. Now, I love it. It's a lot of fun. And what I'm going to eventually do is put together a little canvas and start pinning them on it and hang it on a wall somewhere. It'll be a lot of fun. And, you know, people trade these things. You can trade them online. There are all kinds of apps and websites for that. It's just fun. It's just something silly and fun to do. It's not very expensive. I'm a hardware salesman, so, you know, I can't do a whole lot of the expensive stuff. So, that being said, I enjoy collecting. Now, did you know that God is a collector as well? He is a collector. It says in Psalm 56:8 that God collects our tears in a bottle. Now, I don't know that that means whenever I get to heaven that he'll have a room with bottles everywhere and names on those bottles. And some bottles will be jars, you know, and some bottles will just be small. You know, my dad, I didn't see him cry a whole lot. But later on in his life, I did see him cry a little bit. Now, I have one child that cries a lot, and I have another child that doesn't cry ever. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's one of those kind of things that whenever I read that verse of God collecting my tears in a bottle, I think what it means to me is that God loves me and he knows when I'm hurting. He knows my pain. It's not a nonchalant, uncaring, passive thing with God. God loves me enough that whenever I cry, he's known about it. Whenever I'm upset, he's known about it. But the flip side of that is that God knows when I'm happy. God knows when things are great. Whenever I'm passionate about something, God knows these things. God cares enough that I matter, and my tears matter to him. Whenever my heart was breaking at the death of my father, he cared. He felt my pain. And that's what I've been saying my whole ministry, is that we will never go through anything in our life that God doesn't understand himself. Separation from a parent, you know. Jesus himself said, my God, why have you forsaken me? He experienced separation. Death of a friend, you know, with Lazarus. There's so many things that if we start looking, Jesus went through these things too. And we're not praying to a God that doesn't understand our pain. We're praying to a God that has been there as well and that knows what pain is. We're praying to a God that knows what it means to be tempted. We're praying to a God that understands when we cry. So if you feel like you've been crying a lot, if you feel like that you're wondering if God is ever there, if he ever listens and pays attention, not only does he listen, but he does pay attention, and he collects your tears in a bottle. You matter. Folks, listen to what I say when I say this. And next time you're wondering, I want you to look at yourself in a mirror and look at yourself and say this: I matter to God. People, it's true. You matter to God. You do. You do. And it makes me want to go tell everyone else that they matter to God as well. Let's go give them heaven.